Similar to the NFL, the MLB has a strict policy against certain cleats worn by players on the field. Some players want to get creative and rock some custom cleats, but that can lead to some serious trouble and even more ridiculous fines from the MLB itself. Back in May of 2018, Chicago Cubs outfielder Ben Zobrist had launched a protest on social media whenever he received a warning from the MLB noting that his black cleats ran afoul of what's becoming known as the 51% rule. Technically, it's Section G1 of the Collective Bargaining Agreement, which requires that a player's shoes must feature at least 51% of his team's primary color. Zobrist's black cleats, he wrote, were meant as a tribute to Ernie Banks, Stan Musial, and others who wore black cleats way back in the day. Zobrist wrote on his post, quote, "For the last 2 years, I've worn black spikes exclusively at Wrigley Field for day games to pay homage to the history of our great game. And now, I'm being told that I will be fined and disciplined if I continue to wear them. When I was a kid, I was inspired by highlights of the greats such as Ernie Banks and Stan Musial in the 1950s and 60s, and was captured by the old uniforms and all-black cleats with flaps. At New Balance Baseball made a kid's dream come true by making some all-black spikes with a special tongue as well as the Benny the Jet at PF_Flyers cleats. I'm curious as to why at MLB is spending time and money enforcing this now when they haven't done it previously in the year and beyond. I have heard nothing but compliments from the fans and enjoy the quote-unquote old school look. Maybe there is some kid out there that will be inspired to look more into the history of the game by the quote-unquote flexibility that I prefer in the color of my shoes. Sincerely, Ben Zobrist." Similarly, Yankees player Brett Gardner received the same warning from the MLB. Gardner said that he received warnings from Major League Baseball and Yankees general manager Brian Cashman about being out of uniform after he wore a pair of bright white New Balance spikes out to the field for the Yankees' 2-1 victory over the Mariners. Quote, "I don't think anyone came to my locker and took them, but I won't be wearing them again," Gardner said. "That was a one-time thing. I definitely got several warnings on that already, unofficial and official from the bottom all the way to the top." The shoes were sent to Gardner for the All-Star game in Cincinnati, but he said that he could not use them because they clashed with the road gray uniform. The Yankees didn't believe they went all that well with pinstripes either. By the letter of the law, Gardner said, his shoes needed to be at least 51% black. Gardner stated that he wasn't fined, but he could be if they did appear again. He said that he wore the shoes at the urging of Yankees left-hander CC Bathia, who had pitched 6 innings of 1-run ball on Sunday afternoon against Seattle. Quote, "I was unpacking my stuff and a couple of guys were like, 'Oh, those shoes are sweet,'" Gardner said. "CC wanted me to wear them. I forgot about it, and Sunday morning CC was pitching. It was 12:15, and he was walking out of the training room and getting ready to go outside for the game. He was like, 'Hey, if you don't have those white shoes on, you keep your little rear end inside.' So I was like, well, I guess I've got to put the white shoes on then. I made the big guy happy. Maybe I'll take a little credit for how well he pitched too, because of the cleats, I guess. It was fun, but a one-time thing." Gardner received many different warnings and letters from the MLB telling him that he would be fined a great amount if he continued to wear these illegal cleats. This message included many others, opened the eyes of the MLB, and finally, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred made an official change to the league. Manfred stated, quote, "Major League Baseball and its clubs recognize the desire of players to have more flexibility in this area and are pleased to announce the loosening of regulations that will permit more personalized and stylized wear. We believe that this agreement strikes the appropriate balance between the shared goal of permitting players to express their individuality while maintaining reasonable restrictions on shoe colors and designs. This change would allow players to have more freedom when it comes to custom shoe colors and other designs." Manfred also said, quote, "Players may wear shoes displaying any of the following colors in any proportion. 1. Black, white, and gray. 2. Any colors displayed on the player's uniform and certain variations thereof. And 3, any additional colors designed by the players' club." In 2018, Cleveland Indian pitcher Mike Clevinger called out the MLB for wearing an illegal pair of cleats. Clevinger, whose nickname is Sunshine, was issued a warning letter threatening a fine if he continues to wear his custom tie-dye cleats that feature a bright sunflower and lotus flower on the outside. The 27-year-old Jacksonville, Florida native said that he is going to work on getting another customized pair of cleats that fit MLB standards. Quote, "I'm still going to be me," Clevinger said. "I'm not going to change what I'm doing because somebody's not getting their share of the cut, or whatever the case may be." The shoes were red and blue, which both fit the Indians' color category, but the MLB claimed the sunflower on them was too distracting to hitters. Mike was fined a whopping $5,000 for the cleats. Clevinger went on to say, quote, "There's no hitter that makes it to the big leagues that a cleat is going to distract him," Clevinger said. "If the hitter is looking at my cleat while I'm pitching, he's not hitting." Clevinger, whose long hair and sleeve of tattoos on his left arm make him one of Cleveland's most outwardly expressed players, said it's a matter of give and take with Major League Baseball. Quote, "I just feel the more you give, the more they're going to take," he said. "Now it's the cleats. But when is it going to be tattoos next year? I have flower tattoos that are colorful, and I'm using my arms to throw. So, is it going to be that pitchers who have tattoos either can't have tattoos or have to cover them up? Where does it go from here?" During the 2013 Jackie Robinson Day, the MLB released a come-out swinging edition of a former cleat that had the special digital camo design on them. This showcased the major color of the team. Former Orioles outfielder Adam Jones decided to customize a pair of Nike Air Swingman MVP cleats in the Orioles' orange color. But after wearing them just one game, he had received a letter in the mail telling him he could never wear them again. They were only approved for Jackie Robinson Day, and if he wore them again, he would end up facing some serious repercussions. Adam Jones decided to take it to Instagram to express his thoughts as he posted a photo of himself lacing up the now banned cleats. He captioned the post, quote, "These are now #banned by @MLB. These need a great home. I might do a massive giveaway/auction for these bad boys. #stay hungry." Pete Alonso, otherwise known as Polar Bear, crushed the MLB in his 2019 season. As a rookie, he won the Home Run Derby and won the record for the most home runs in a rookie season, passing Aaron Jones with 53 home runs in his rookie debut. With Pete playing for the Mets, the New York City takes patriotism very seriously and love honoring those who lost their lives during 9/11. Pete came up with a great idea to ask the MLB if they could do a special customized cleat for 9/11 when the Mets played on that date. The league straight up said no and said that if he did wear them, he would violate the cleat rules and there would be some serious consequences. Well, Pete didn't take no for an answer, as he went against the MLB's rules and instead of just wearing them in game, he got his entire team the custom cleats. Well, the team ended up wearing the cleats and scored 9 runs and 11 hits, winning the game. Pete had all the cleats painted red, white, and blue, and even included the stars and stripes to make them as patriotic as possible. The cleats had the words, "We will never forget" on them, as well as the date that 9/11 took place. But because of the importance of the topic and how long Pete took to get these shoes customized, the MLB took a long time to determine whether or not they would find Pete. They ultimately did not, as Pete donated $100,000 to the Tunnels to the Towers Foundation after winning the Home Run Derby. After the MLB decided not to fine him, Pete decided to do a press conference on the topic. He stated, quote, "For me, it came from a place where I wanted to show support," Alonso said, "not just to the victims, but the families as well, because no one knows how deep those emotional scars can be. I just wanted to show recognition to all the ordinary people who felt a sense of urgency and an admirable call of duty. It's for all the people that lost their lives and all the people that did so much to help." Vin Scully, a legendary commentator for the LA Dodgers, has been with the team from 1950 to 2016. Since then, playing in LA, many players have been repping Vin in various ways to show homage to what he's done. During Vin's farewell tour, the Dodgers did a lot to honor him, and right fielder Yezel Puig took it upon himself so as to take it a step further. Puig hit up a custom shoe designer on Instagram and had him create a one-of-a-kind pair of cleats with Vin's name on them. Puig wore them during a game. And sure enough, the MLB ended up sending a letter to him telling the outfielder that he would be fined $5,000 if he wore the cleats, which have a photo of Vin Scully on their side. Scully's photo does not violate the league's uniform policy, but the orange stripe on the shoe does. Prior to winning the World Series, Nationals pitcher Doolittle decided he wanted to spread awareness and use his platform to show respect for the LGBTQIAP+ community. Doolittle showed up on the field of the Nationals Pride Night wearing cleats that feature the rainbow trans flag and was the most prominent MLB player to condemn homophobic tweets from peers. The MLB did allow him to wear the cleats for one game, but had told him to stop wearing them due to the nature of the topic and how the colors could possibly affect batters.